What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown Media. My name is Zach, and I'm joined, as always, by my perennial painting partner and resident monkey handler, Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good to be back. We had to take last week off. Both of us found ourselves otherwise occupied, but I managed to, over the course of the week, paint a couple of big Firefly minis that I'm very proud of. And I was like, you know what? Let's just bang out the last couple of Fireflies on the show, or Firefly mini shipped things on the show tonight. So this is a show where we hang out and paint miniatures. We've got both a massive backlog, which Broody reminded me of on stream last night. So we're going to hang out and work through that backlog. As with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, after so much delay, it's good to be back. Let's paint some minis. On the docket tonight, I'm starting with this relatively easy thing. This is an Alliance cruiser from, I think, the Kalidasa expansion. It's just flat gray. There's really nothing to it. So I'm cheating a little bit here.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope, it's just going to be flat gray, null and oil, a little bit of accenting, blue for the engines. Maybe a dry brush, and we'll call it good. So this one should be really, really, really fast. And you've got some Mandalorians.
I do have some Mandalorians. This is from Star Wars Legion. It is the Clan Ren expansion.
You know, I actually thought about picking that expansion up today, just because I want to paint some Mandalorians at some point. But as you reminded me yesterday, I have so many things to paint right now, I don't need any more.
Yeah. This is an old one that I've had for a little while that I just got assembled today.
Nice.
And primed and ready to paint for today.
Yeah. So after spending as much time as I have watching and rewatching again The Mandalorian, the TV show, I've just been kind of inspired. I really want to pick up those Legion models, even though I don't actually play the game. Which invariably, as we saw with Crisis Protocol, it leads to me buying the core game because I'm a sucker like that.
Yeah, obviously I don't get to play a lot of games anyway, in this situation. But yeah, I've done the practice, training, learn how to play mission and that's about it.
Well, I was like, how cool would it be? And I think I showed you a while back. Like, one of the first Kit Bash models I ever did was Boba Fett.
Yep.
And it came out freaking dope. Thank you, RPD. And I was like, God, it'd be so cool to just like hit the Warhammer 40k table with an IG army that's just entirely Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Astra Militarum, I guess they're called now. A stupid name. More Games
So what were they
Workshop.
originally?
Imperial Guard.
Okay.
Which, I get it. GW can't copyright that. But, like, God, Astra Militarum? Like, come on. So I'm kind of letting... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to just say, what I'm doing right now, like I said, this is the Clan Ren expansion.
Yep.
So, like, their standard colors are gray with yellow accents. I'm doing them more of a custom design, so I'm doing red and I'm going to be doing white accents.
Nice. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting down that gray base coat, but I'm kind of like going a little bit light on it, so the black shows through a little bit, showing a little bit of weathering, even though this is supposed to be like the nice, like, high-class Alliance ship. It's supposed to be brand new, in a manner of speaking. Basically, any ship that has to travel through the atmosphere is going to take a little bit of damage going in and out, so I'm trying to be as respectful toward that concept as possible. There is going to be a little bit of silver weathering coming through too on the back end. And I do, of course, have a reference photo that I'm working off of. Might help if I had that up. There we go.
I was going to say, this is going to be completely my imagination.
That's good. One of these days I'll do a model that I'm not, referencing something else for. But today is not that day. RPD says he's been playing a lot of Let It Die and Cookie Run. December's theme of the month is K-pop. Oh boy. Wait, K-pop cookies? I'm not sure I want to know what that means. That's the game that you were finding cookies to equivocate to all of your favorite streamers, yes, RPD?
So right now, with just the red and like the black undercoat from the base coat, not the base coat but the prime, these guys look super Sith.
Yeah, they do.
Which is not my intention, but that'll hopefully go away once I start adding the white.
So I was actually going to ask you, what are you using for the red there?
Mephiston red.
It is Mephiston red. Okay.
Like the only red base that I have.
Oh, okay. Because there's a hauler ship that I'm going to be doing in a few minutes here that's going to be base coated like a dull brownish red. I'm trying to decide if I want to use Mephiston red or there's another one kicking around here somewhere too that I might consider. But I will solicit your opinion when we get there. As for what I've been playing this week, RPD, you definitely saw this. Paul Ribitaro and I were playing Goof Troop, and oh my god, that game is so much fun. We almost beat it. We came very close this evening. We took a wrong turn, and it was our undoing. It was bad. Basically, you can at the end game. which is anticlimactic no matter how you do it. I actually did watch a YouTube video to see how it ends. But you can go into like a room where you can farm a bunch of extra lives and free stuff, or you can just go right into the boss fight, which is accidentally what we did because we didn't know any better, and we had no continues, so we just lost, and it was sad.
Who's the boss fight for Goof Troop?
Pete, of course.
I figured it would be.
Yeah, specifically Keelhaul Pete, the pirate.
Okay.
Who has taken the real Pete and PJ hostage. And it was very funny. The game is very tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, it's Goof Troop, but it's like it's kind of like the best I can describe it is fast-paced two-player Zelda. Or 2D Zelda. Two-player 2D Zelda. Because the puzzles are, like, it's exactly the same perspective. A lot of the puzzles look exactly the same. It's shove things around and move things about to try and solve puzzle. It's just incredibly fun. Like, it's super short. The playtime is about 3 hours, start to finish.
Provided you're not dying a whole bunch.
Well, even if you are, like, if you're playing with 2 players, you can resurrect each other. The only time you can't do that is in a boss fight, because as with Zelda, you're just locked in the room. And the bosses are freaking insane. Like, the first one is Whack-A-Mole. You're literally just playing Whack-A-Mole. But you have to throw things instead of dropping a hammer. Casual reminder that Goof Troop is an infinitely superior Zelda game to Breath of the Wild. Hell yes, RPD. There's a joke on This Is Difficult, where we just kind of trash on Breath of the Wild constantly.
Breath of the Wild is a good game, but yeah, it's not a Zelda game.
It's not a Zelda game. At all. Alright, take a quick look at the reference image. Yep, it is Melon Oil time. Okay. Well, that was a very easy base coat.
Yeah.
13 minutes into the stream. Is it a joke, though? Most of it's just statements. Yeah. Well, okay. It's a bit at this point. It's not really a joke, but it's definitely a bit on the show. This morning, RPD, you weren't there. This morning on Paul's stream, Chamali and Paul and I guess Blink and I were talking about how we're real bad at we tell lies about video games. Like, that's kind of what we do on This Is Difficult. Not in the same way that Christopher and Adam do on the letters page, but like we're frequently wrong. Like, and poor Chamali, being a producer on the show, he's trying to lead us in the right direction, and we just keep steering it completely off the rails. Well, you forgot about Play Destiny, RPD. And play Hades in Adam's case. Going pretty heavy with this Melon Oil, because I think a lot of this is going to come out in a dry brush. maybe a mistake, but we'll see what happens. So my cousin got engaged yesterday.
That's nice.
Yeah. She is very happy, and that makes me happy. I think it kind of confused a lot of our family, though.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who's met the guy. So, like, I'm like, yeah, no. Michael's great. Like, we like him, not you.
Might have been the name.
I was like, yeah, no, her boyfriend's wonderful. Like, I like him a lot. And everybody's like, you've met him? I'm like, well, sort of, over Zoom, like a bunch. But, no, it's going to be very good. And it sounds like it's going to give me another excuse to go down to Pennsylvania, so that's cool. You know, when it's safe to do that.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire just finally, New Hampshire governor wisened up and gave us a mask mandate. Which makes me a little happier. But there's also the inevitability that one of my students just got the Rona. I'm fine.
That the other day.
Did I? Okay, yeah. But, I mean, the whole thing's a mess. We just do our best, I guess, is all we can say at the moment. How are the monkeys?
They're good. I think I mentioned this. We got like 16 more and named them after Transformers.
Yeah, I was so excited about that.
They're under quarantine and will be for like 30 days or something. So we're not gonna get to see like. I saw them come in, but that was pretty much the only time I set eyes on them.
Right.
They've got to be quarantined for the safety of all of them. So
yeah.
So that'll be coming out soon.
Sure.
By the end of December.
Nice.
I think this group is they came from the Air Force, so since they're in country, they're only a 30-day quarantine.
Nice.
When we get international ones, they have an additional CDC quarantine of 60 days
Gotcha.
per government regulations.
Alright, so my options for red here are... I got Screamer Pink, but I don't like that. I got a Burgundy, which is like a purple. I don't like that. So I guess it comes down to Corn Red or Mephiston Red, and I think Mephiston Red's going to get the win out here, just based on what I'm seeing from you. Hey, Walking Target! Iowa still lacks a statewide mask mandate. Oh, boo. That sucks, man. Welcome to the show, my dude. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paint most of it red and then do like a brownish dry brush to kind of weather it out a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's fantastic, man. If you need any pointers, we are here for you. The tactics minis were tricky at best to paint. I did a couple with my friend Doug, and we did not enjoy them. Just because of the scale. Like, it was odd to us.
What minis?
Sentinel Tactics? Yeah.
Yeah. I've got several that I've painted up. I did like all the heroes. I didn't like get all of the like citizens.
Yeah.
And stuff done, but I got all the heroes and main villains, so I could do like tournament play and stuff.
Nice. I really love that game. Like, I got them as a set of things to practice for Freedom 5 down. Yeah, that's very fair. Makes sense. So the one thing that I will caution you, obviously, is because of the difference in scale, any mistakes you make on the Freedom 5 are going to be noticeable. I learned that the hard way on Brutality. Like, I had to sort of stop and start a couple times. If you go back and watch the replays here, you can see that. I took a break for a while to do... what the hell did I take a break? What the hell was I doing?
You did Firefly.
I did Firefly. There was something else that I did in the middle of it. Like, I did Marry the Brutal, and then I audibled out of Brutality for a while. RPD probably remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Oh, I was thinking about what we said before. So before we went live yesterday, Broody and Greg and Chamali and I were talking about the impending Whamageddon of 2020.
Oh, goodness.
And we realized that the worst... So last year, last Christmas, if you will, Adam Ribataro got us really, really badly. It was absolutely brutal. We were coming out of a pub, and our friend Sam, Sammy God of Arkham, which spent the entire dinner, trying to get the jukebox to play Last Christmas to wham us. And he didn't do it. He actually got the song played once or twice, but it was so loud in there that we just didn't notice. And so walking back on our way to get ice cream, Adam puts it on Spotify, and both Broody and I fell within seconds, and Greg was not far behind. And we were thinking, what would be the worst possible way to get whammed? And we said that, what was it? It was
you set up a link, and it goes to a Rickroll.
That's right.
But then 5 seconds into the Rickroll, it switches to Last Christmas.
And then in the description it says you lost the game.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we all just lost the game.
Again.
It's inevitable. Boy, undercoating this mini is actually more complicated than I thought it would be. There's a lot of surface area to cover, and some of it's in weird places. Since we've popped the lid off of Sentinels talk, can I say that we as a community did a great job picking two characters who do not gel with the game's art style? Oh, you mean Parse and Scholar? I actually, initially, I was a little bit grouchy at the way that Parse was looking, and the update art from yesterday, I think it was yesterday, actually, I'm pretty happy with it, so.
Scholar looks pretty good once you got a bunch of color on them also. I did not like the black and white.
Yeah, the black and white one looked a little too busy.
Yeah, it didn't do him really any justice, but seeing the whole thing come together was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy, this looks very, very bright red on camera, and it definitely isn't in real life.
Every good sci-fi thing needs a bunch of pouches.
I do feel like the Mandalorians tend to be a product of the 90s. Despite, Boba Fett appearing well prior to the 90s.
Yeah.
What was the Star Wars Holiday Special? 78?
Yeah, 78. like a year after the initial release.
Yeah. My cousin texted me the other day. He's like, "Hey, I'm watching the Star Wars Holiday Special." I'm like, "The real one or the Lego one?" And he goes, "Lego." I'm like, "Oh, you scared me for a minute there, buddy." I think my main issue is getting into the painting thing will be color choices. Ah, so we can help with that, Walking Target. Do you have a smartphone? Silly
This
question
is something
nowadays.
that I need to install still.
Yep. The Citadel Color Paint app is a tool that I use every single time I go to paint. And, like, yeah, I get it. It's, like, the big critique is, especially with people who don't want to shell out for Citadel Paint, it only does display Citadel Paint, but you can pretty easily, like, Google equivalency charts for, like, Vallejo or Army Painter. And it's a really good place to jump off. So yeah, get the Citadel Paint app. It is super valuable.
I don't know why I'm doing this right now.
What's that?
I'm painting in this crevice with a Abaddon black. Like, the wash is going to go straight in there and not make a difference. But I have to be perfect, so...
The pursuit of perfection.
Mm-hmm. Maybe go touch up a couple of things with the red, but...
Oh my god, this is way more red than I expected it to be. In terms of surface area, not in terms of, like, color. The color,
like the Inquisition.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I was so sad there was no Scrubs podcast this week.
Oh, for the holiday, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Braff's directing something, so they got lazy. Shirking their responsibilities. Tisk tisk, boys. They just did, like, so I don't know how, like, up on the tropes of sitcoms you are, but almost every sitcom, and a lot of dramas as well, so like Buffy did this, have clip shows.
Yeah.
Which are literally the worst. Like, I hate them. And will often, like, even in a rewatch, I will just skip them. So that's what they did for the podcast this week. I'm like, yep, nope, not even listening. Like, I've heard all these like, they did the best of the callers or the call-ins, and I was like, no. Just, no. Garbage. Yes, Always Sunny, as is often the case, is the exception that proves the rule. That clip show was fantastic.
Okay, time to break out ceramic white.
Good luck with that. How chunky is it?
Pretty chunky.
Fun fact about ceramite white, it is the chunkiest. Oh my god, RPD, that'd be so terrific. Just like outtakes or whatever. That would be really funny. I don't know if anybody has seen Bill Lawrence's new show, Ted Lasso, but it's getting very good reviews. And, like, I don't want to shell out for Apple TV Plus to watch it. Like, I wonder at what point does the market become completely saturated for streaming services?
Oh, it's just too many of them? Yeah.
Because, like, as of right now, my wife and I are paying for Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, Netflix. I think that's it. But, like, and HBO. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, at some point, we just got to say that's too much. That's too much, Mr. Barker. Not even outtakes, just remember that time that we did the one thing. Cue clips that either aren't from the episodes or display the character saying the line is lying. Nice. Yeah, I'm there. I'm with you, RPD. That sounds like a lot of fun. Get Ron Howard to do the voiceover. He didn't. Previously on Arrested Development. I do love me some Ron Howard, although I'm just going to say it right now. If Jon Favreau ever steps down from Mandalorian, from being showrunner Mandalorian, someone give it to Bryce Dallas. Because, oh my god, her episodes are fire.
Yeah.
Like, straight gas. Recently, hers was what did she did the one with.
She did the Eris episode 3 with Bo-Katan.
That's right, the Bo-Katan episode. And
she did episode 4.
Series 1, right?
Yeah, and season 1, the Samurai 7 episode.
Right. Yes, and oh my god. Oh, so you're caught up then, Walking Target. We're still within the spoiler zone, and that's not what we're all about here. So we'll keep it spoiler free. But last night's episode.
Darth Vader is Luke's dad.
Huh?
Darth Vader is Luke's dad.
Darth Vader is Luke's dad. The Emperor dies.
No, he doesn't.
Shush.
Oh, that's looking really good.
Thank you. And some gray on here to just offset things a little bit. Sort of my white stand-in, Celestra Gray. But yeah, no, last night's episode was really, really gas. Like, I was really trepidatious going into it about, I literally said to my student Lincoln the other day, I was like, dude, keep your Jedi out of my Mandalorian. But they did it.
Well, actually,
they did
she's
okay.
Not a Jedi.
Helping or hurting, Broody?
What?
I meant like just in general. Keep your Jedi lore out of my Mandalorian. But no, I think they knocked it out of the park. They did a really good job with it, sort of keeping it real. So remember, I have not seen Rebels or Clone Wars. I was saying to Adam last night, like, I, for some reason, have a problem with animated TV shows. I love them. Case in point, X-Men. Like, I'm watching X-Men, as I believe we've discussed on the show. And I love it, but I get distracted from them so easily.
And don't forget DuckTales.
DuckTales. Yeah, but DuckTales, like, I'm watching as it comes out.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. Okay, that was a lot of guesswork where those panels lined up, and I got it. Let's see if I can do it again. Oh, hold on. Got a good angle on it this time. So what did you and Casey end up doing for the holiday?
I hosted, and my parents and my sister came with my niece and nephew.
Nice. We ended up having to be hopelessly alone, and eating over Zoom because my brother and his girlfriend are work mandated quarantine, and Katie and I had to go into work mandated pseudo quarantine, and my mom was very sad because we were supposed to go visit her, but we couldn't. Last minute changes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've only seen the live action movies and the Gennady Tarkovsky cartoon. Yeah, sure. But having enough bleed over from various friends' interest, I actually understood the references like who Rosario Dawson was playing and who she was looking for. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely recognized Thrawn. Like, so there were two things. Are we, like, can we talk about DTs from the end of the previous episode at this point?
Huh?
Can we talk about the DTs from the end of the Moff Gideon episode?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
we definitely plenty of time for shields.
Cool. So there were going into Disney Star Wars. There were two things that I wanted canonized out of the extended universe. Thrawn being the big one. Absolutely, definitely wanted Thrawn. When he showed up in one of the cartoons, I knew about it because I haven't watched it, but somebody had told me. I was like, "What's that?" Sorry.
He was the primary antagonist in seasons 2 and 3 of Rebels, or 3 and 4 of Rebels.
Nice. Okay, so yeah. So once he showed up in Rebels, I was like, okay, great. This is awesome. Thrawn's in. I'm happy. On backup, though, I wanted Dark Forces. Something from Dark Forces to show up. And when the Dark Troopers showed up at the end of the previous episode, I lost it. I was like, oh my god, those are awful. Kill them with fire now.
Yeah, I also like how well it was played up because I saw the beginning bits and I was thinking, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to lay the groundwork for Palpatine clones or something like that.
Yep, that's what I thought too.
Neat. And then it's like the end scene. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Then hardcore hashtag canonized Kyle Katarn.
Yes, right? Oh my god, give us Kyle Katarn!
He's the Star Wars Chuck Norris, and he deserves to be canonized.
Yes, he absolutely does. I love him to pieces.
I say that completely not joking for anyone who is unaware of his contribution. So you play as him in Dark Forces and various other things, and in the first Dark Forces, he's not Force sensitive.
Well, he is, but it's like kind of downplayed.
Yeah. Like as the games go on, he eventually becomes a Jedi and blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Which is exactly why Dark Forces, the first one, was the best of the Dark Forces games. Although, in terms of like depth of story, Jedi Knight is absolutely, Dark Forces 2 is absolutely the best. But
yeah. But as you like playing a video game, like the designers need to give you challenges, and so they throw enemies at you and other things that you can fight and overcome. Now, most universes where they have like a video game version of it, they kind of hand wave that it's like it's not really what happens.
Right.
But with Kyle Katarn, it's like it is canon, or at least it was canon, kind of in the EU.
Yep.
That he literally like would easily just, you drop him on a planet, he'd be able to mow through thousands of stormtroopers and accomplish whatever mission you needed to where like the EU had to go out of their way to write Kyle Katarn out of missions so he couldn't like help. So he was literally the Chuck Norris of Star Wars.
Yep. He absolutely was.
I'd solve this problem in 10 seconds if Kyle Katarna was here.
Yep. Him and Dash Rendar.
Yes.
Like, Rendar was always dope. I liked him a lot. All right, Broody. Thoughts here. I could go Nuln Oil, or I could go Carisburg Crimson for the wash on this ship. Yes, he is that guy from Shadows of the Empire walking target. The pilot of the 7th Snowspeeder.
What is your end goal?
Well, so my other...
If you want a real, like, rusty or run-down look, the Agrax Earthshade's definitely the way to go.
Okay, I'm thinking that too. I played it recently, Walking Target. It was on Steam sale, and I picked it up. It was super... I love that game. But it was always better with a joystick, which was a little odd because a lot of times you were running around. But no, Shadows of the Empire, probably second to... second to Dark Forces, and then X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, or TIE Fighter specifically, up there for my top Star Wars games.
As I say, Shadows is probably my top, with KOTOR.
KOTOR was good. I didn't get super into it because I didn't have a good internet connection at the time. But it is incredible. I also like... So, Mike, have you ever seen Spaced? The show Spaced?
No.
Okay, so there's a scene in it that kind of recurs, because that's an Edgar Wright staple, where Simon Pegg gets really, really frustrated with some kid for liking Jar Jar Binks.
Uh-huh.
And while I understand that Jar Jar Binks had an important role to play and blah, 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 I also get very cranky with him.
Yeah.
And he ends up burning all his Star Wars stuff in the same, like, a la Darth Vader's funeral pyre at the end of Jedi. And when Phantom Menace came out, I very seriously considered burning all my Star Wars stuff. I was very, very angry about it. So I've always, like, anything pre A New Hope has always kind of bugged me a little bit.
Yeah.
So any sort of Old Republic stuff kind of just ground my gears up until recently. Like, I've started to sort of forgive it lately. So now that I've finished Goof Troop and are ready for it to be the reviewed game of the week on the podcast, how long until you're going to review Disney Afternoon Collection? So, I don't know, RPD. Like, I want to, but because of our playthrough of Arkham, that's going to take a while. I don't know if I'm going to get... Oh, I see what you're saying. I'll get to that in a second, Walking Target. So yeah, I would like to play Disney Afternoon Collection. It'll be at like a cross-section of it, most likely, I think. Because those games are really hard. And, like, you know how I feel about bashing my head against a wall on camera. Like, that's not fun for anybody. The reason I think that Paul and I were able to be successful with... with Goof Troop is we had 2 players. Paul mentioned that playing solo was next to impossible. He didn't even get through the first level. Where together we were able to pull that off. So in response to Jar Jar had a role to play. So when I was in high school, my friend Corey and I, who I still hang out with, play Warhammer with all the time. He's a great guy. He and I postulated that Jar Jar Binks is solely responsible for everything. So, in that respect, he had a role to play. In any other respect, kind of he was dumb. So I respect your Thor squint meme. The trick about compilations like this are you can just do them one at a time and use the disclaimer reviewed using the Just Afternoon collection. Yeah, it's true. But, like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we'll see where the podcast goes and what my responsibilities on the podcast look like moving forward. So the Nuln Oil is almost dry on the cruiser here. So you can see some of the lines are coming out a little bit darker now. I like that. So leave that alone, and we will work on the Interceptor. I believe this is Jubal Early's ship. I could be wrong. I haven't seen Firefly in a long time. And that's probably... well, it's probably for the better, honestly. Was it Chamali, I think, that was saying that, you know, Firefly is good but overrated?
I know I say that.
Is that... was it you? Okay.
I'm not sure if Chamali agrees with me.
Well, Chamali and I were having a lot of discussions of that nature, so... I hope this doesn't tint the paint red. Okay, cool. So this one so I'm starting it out pretty white, but there's going to be some darker sections. So I'm just kind of base coating it all white so I can take a look at it. Yeah, that's very fair, RPD. So I mentioned I picked up my niece's Christmas gift today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty happy with it. Since I know she is not very likely to watch this show. I picked her up, so I asked her mother what her favorite colors were, and the answer I got was light blue. So I picked her up 3 different sets of light blue dice in the specific sizes needed for the Sentinel Comics roleplay game.
Nice.
So I can start playing that with her soon. I have this really wacky, like, guys level story that I want to tell. I was like, this will be perfect for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't decided if Guys himself is actually going to make an appearance, but we'll see. I think Pool Shark probably will. I remember my before having a kid gaming group who hadn't done for a while text me out of the blue on Thanksgiving. And nice. Oh, that's cool. I had 2 years ago. My band and I were about to take stage at the school talent show, and a roommate who I hadn't talked to in many, many years texted me out of the blue, and like his intention was to basically apologize for kind of treating me badly when we were roommates, and I gotta be honest, my band has never played better. Like, we were just super motivated that night, or I was. Yeah, I mean, so game nights, right? Like, if I didn't work at the store, I don't know that I'd have been to any game nights other than at Gen Con in the last couple of years. I'm just, like, I'm such a homebody. Oh, yeah. Well, so I have a couple of different contacts with for guys shenanigans. Obviously, the go-to person would be Sanvar. I text him a lot with guys questions, especially when I'm doing guys for Tales from the Archive. Oh wow, Minicons! Holy moly! And then Jeremy Handel, obviously loves him some guys. And then of course I can text Braithwaite. But yeah, RPD, I will loop you in when I have some plot lines outlined. And Trevor and I are working on some stuff too that we're very excited about. All right, so there's a couple of gray, like darker gray panels here. So I'm gonna drop down to a smaller brush. See if I can hammer through those. Also the Abaddon black bits on the windscreen, and then there's a couple other areas as well. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Ooh, so spicy. That's really dope.
Gotta let the wash dry a little bit, then I'll dry brush and stuff. So on to the next one.
Yeah.
A lot of the same.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should do this more assembly line, but I am not. I'm doing them one at a time.
Well, I mean, so as viewers have seen with the stuff that I do, it's like sometimes you decide that after the fact because you're not entirely sure leading up to it.
You drop them.
Micro consum. Wow, RPD. That is a good name for a minicon. Enough tables and people for 3 to 4 games going at once, usually for a whole weekend. Dang. So that's kind of what we did for my bachelor party. We did, there was what? Corey, Doug, Joff, Tim, Eric, John, Travis, T-Dubs, Alex, myself. There were about 10 of us. And we had usually 1 game going on the Switch and 2 games on the tables. So that was, about the same. It's pretty good. I actually got to see my boss today.
How was that?
Well, always an adventure, let's put it that way.
Was he not dealing with the eccentric millionaire?
He is done dealing with the eccentric millionaire. For now.
Kitten.
Invasion of the kitty?
Yep.
Boy, my cat was so happy that I was home yesterday. Kate left for work, and Nico was just like, oh, Dad's still here. I'm going to lie on his lap now and not move for the rest of the day.
Yep. Sounds like a cat.
Oh my god. Walking target, I'm so jealous. I am, in my library every day. Not that the kids can come in, but... TM... They might be giants. Okay, got it. Concert one night and then a game day at my best man's house. The next... About that many people, yeah. So we rented a cabin in the woods for 2 nights, which was a whole fiasco.
Wait, you rented an actual cabin in the woods?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I rented the movie Cabin in the Woods, and we watched that on my bachelor party.
That's fantastic.
Very important distinction.
Yes, absolutely very important. So yeah, we rented a cabin in the woods, and it was awesome. It was just like the 10 of us nerding out all weekend. We did a bunch of gaming, obviously a bunch of drinking. Joff drew inappropriate things on my brother's face after he fell asleep. And then we did a brewery tour, which was awesome. And we did an escape room, which we solved. Thank you very much. John and Corey and I are all very, very good at escape room sort of things. So the odds were kind of stacked in our favor. So I think I just did the same thing you did. I was like, oh hey, there's these lines, and I'm going to go over them with Abaddon Black. Just in case the ink doesn't do its job.
Paranoia.
Pretty much.
Each head's too close to his jetpack.
No. Turns out you are more likely to succeed if you are good at things. Learning and growing. I should make that an emote. Just the Aquabats A for learning and growing. I can probably text Eaglebones and get permission to actually do that, or proper permission to do that. Bones and I go back and forth about guitar stuff all the time. There we go. Okay, yeah, this is working. Dope. All right, I think Null Oil on this one. And then we'll move back to the cruiser, which does appear to be dry at this point. Oh, Jesus. The Terminatus stone is falling down. Man, these guys, these models went fast. I may have to go get some backup models.
Do you want some of mine?
No. Speaking of things I've already said, we really need to set aside just to work through our DM backlog night. Yeah, that's true too. Easier said than done, as you're well aware, RPD. My wife is frequently on my case for how much time I spend streaming and other things. That's why we had to cut down Trapped in Arkham to every other week. And part of the reason. Also, I have school responsibilities that need to be taken care of. That being, I am up for recertification this year, and I need to make sure my professional development work is done.
So in one of the D&D games that I play in,
Mm-hmm.
like my main character is kind of on like a mini side quest.
Yep.
Namely that I have a Phoenix cloak that requires me to go meditate for a week to like recharge it.
Yeah.
And so like I got an opportunity where I could go somewhere to do that, so I like hopped on that.
Yep.
Leaving the rest of the party kind of high and dry.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to like leave me out of like the next session, so like I created like a temp character for based on where they ended up that makes sense would just be there.
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon almost being able to successfully make probably one of the weirdest cross classes, a sorcerer barbarian.
Oh my god, I love it.
Using all kinds of like so. The concept I made was a Warforged character.
Okay, yep, very fair.
It gets a bonus to a +2 to con and a +1 to whatever I want. Surprise! That went to charisma.
Sure.
And all of the characters are like level 9, and so level 9 for sorcerer just gets them like the level 5 spell.
Right.
Which is cool, but if I dropped and like one level into barbarian, I'd get rage.
Yep.
I'd get like the unarmored defense.
Yep.
Which reduced my AC as a sorcerer to 17.
Nice.
Which I could then cast mage armor on myself to have an AC of 20.
Oh my god, that's dope.
As a sorcerer, and then cast like altered form to get like claws to make melee attacks and all kinds of things like that. And I'm like, this is silly. Like, and I didn't end up doing that. I ended up just taking the level 9 in sorcerer, but I was like piecing through like how I could make this a very viable character.
Well,
as a sorcerer melee fighter.
So, come with me on this journey. The Tasha's Tome of Everything book kind of allows you to do that.
Yeah.
The Barbarian Path of Wild Magic.
Uh-huh. I did not notice that.
Yeah. Oh, it's there, and it's calling, man.
I was about to say, I got that book, and I used like the clockwork sorcerer.
Yep.
So it's like I'm a Warforged like clockwork robot essentially.
Right.
That I'm running around playing it as like C-3PO.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Essentially, like where the party teleported to outside of the dungeon, where like I went one way and they went the other, was like an elf wizard's like laboratory.
Nice.
And so I was like, okay, they teleported in through this teleportation circle. There's some sort of magic that like activates his like steward bot that like helps him as his lab assistant.
That's
so,
awesome.
Like, I'll just be there with like a new character.
That I love it.
With like dwindling batteries, so it's like eventually he's gonna like run out and then not have then just replace back to my main character once like I've the meditation.
Fixed it. Sorry, I had a little bit of trouble with the Nuln Oil on that one. Just wasn't going where I wanted it to. Which is why I put down that Abaddon Black! I did it right! Yay! Alright, quick check of a thing. I gotta remember to do that when I go live.
What?
The volume in OBS defaults to full, which is why when I get new follows, the alert sound is obnoxiously loud. And I'm sure there's a better way to fix that, but I don't know it. So one of these days I'll have Colin look at it, but oh dear. Oh, it should come out with a dry brush. Should be fine. All right. So the question is, do I go right for the dry brush? Or yeah, I probably do. Okay. Nice, RPD. That's fantastic. What the heck is this? I love when I go into my paint box and I'm just like, what the hell is this color? And why did I buy it? Ooh, that's risky. I'm really hoping this dry brush works. I'm going to start with a very small area and we'll see where we get. You know, like the bottom. The thing that nobody will actually look at.
So, had my sister-in-law over today as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we finished up our Dunwich Legacy LCG campaign.
Nice.
And we succeeded.
Woo!
Always good. We successfully went in through the Lost in Time and Space. We did the last two scenarios, so we ran up the hill and succeeded quite handily. It helped that we like killed all the brood of Yog-Sothoth in the last scenario.
Yeah.
Tommy is a beast.
He is absolutely... Well, if he draws Becky.
Oh, everything I had was like... The entire deck was a Voltron deck for Becky.
Nice.
And like I pretty much mulliganed everything if I didn't get it. And a stick to the plan with a prepared for the worst to draw 9 cards on top of that to see if I'd get it.
Rock solid.
And I pretty much started with it in most every scenario.
Nice.
Once I got that like engine set up to go for it.
Yeah.
Or at least within the first turn, I'd have it in play, ready to go. But some of the new cards I
Hey, really Kirk, there he is. Sorry, Broody.
No problem. Ever Vigilant.
Yep.
It's like a free event that just lets you play 3 assets, and you reduce the cost of each of them by 1.
Mm-hmm. That card is clutch.
Yeah. And so that's another one of my like stuck under stick to the plan.
Yep.
So as soon as I get Becky, it's just like, well, I'm going to use that. Here's Becky. Very frequently it'd be Safeguard and like some other ally asset or something.
Yep.
Safeguard, I was about to say, is the other completely gas card, because then I don't need to move any, because I can just go with other people on their turns.
Yes. Yes to both you and to Walking Target. Yep. So Dry Brush is, yeah, that's exactly what you're seeing right now. It gets really, the corners and the edges, but I can also do a little bit on the flats too, to sort of get like that to show up a little bit better. I'll do the other side too. Sorry, Broody, go ahead.
Not a problem. So yeah, a lot of the times it's like I'd have a Safeguard out, and obviously because it's Tommy, you want his assets to have lots of health and stamina and sanity, so they could die and give you resources or refill Becky.
Yeah.
And so like I've got like True Grit, something to worth fighting for, Brother Xavier, like a bunch of allies and items that like all the other investigators can put damage and horror on.
Yep, exactly.
And then Solemn Vows, where they can just throw more horror from them directly and damage whenever they want onto my assets, essentially.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I built him too. Just engine to get Becky, and like it took a while to get the experience necessary to get the engine for Becky. And initially I was a little worried about that. But once we sort of figured our way through that, one of the big gripes that I have with the Arkham card game, and there aren't many, is that the card pool, unless you're super dedicated to it and like what the cards are and where they are, like what they do, you have a very hard, like you've got a very long uphill battle to fight in order to get those cards, or to know which cards to put in a deck. So like Sammy and Alex, that's the only card game they play. And it's now the only card game I play. When I was playing Magic, I had, enough brain space just for Magic. But now, brain space is starting to come back, so I'm starting to recognize more of those cards as you say them.
Yeah.
But like my friend Mike, who plays Commander, and he plays in our Arkham crew, he doesn't have the brain space available for all the Arkham cards, and he struggles really hardcore with trying to find, what is the correct card to go where.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty outstanding. And like my third card for Stick to the Plan is always custom ammo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's like you fight a monster, 3 damage with Becky.
Yep.
There are times where I was just like, with marksmanship, it's like, there's like a thrall engaged to an investigator over there. Let me just shoot from a location away, deal 4 damage to it, and it's just dead because it had 4 health.
Yeah, Tommy's an absolute beast. So Walking Target, now what I'm doing is I'm similar Dry Brush, very, very light, just giving a little bit of silver shine in right over the top. I'm using a tone called Ironbreaker, and my music is cut out again. There we go. Ever play the Mythos CCG from Chaosium back in the 90s? No. Unfortunately, I did not. I know of it. But the only card game I was playing in the 90s was the Star Wars CCG from Decipher. Which was great, and I still play. Because I love it. Oh boy. Yeah, Hoth Blue will work. So I'm doing the engines now, which is another dry brushing technique. So it's going to be around the back here. It's interesting. You could either attack your opponent directly, or you could complete enough story cards. Yep. Fair enough. That's kind of cool. I like that. Excuse me. Like the Dawn Horror was a card in my main deck. Oh, nice. That's sick. Okay. I'm going to play several Whateleys, Henry Armitage, and a few other Professor characters, several locations in Dunwich, etc. Nice. Yeah, so there's almost no paint on this brush, but it's still pretty clear as day when I put it on the model. What I'm doing with it. Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Oh, cat.
He wants to help, apparently.
I guess so. When I was painting the fireflies the other day, Nico kept trying to eat my brushes.
And now she's just swatting her tail and knocking over everything.
Well, that's Buster's job.
Nope, stop that cat.
Oh no. Temple Guard blue won't be too bright. What else have I got? Oh, Thunderhawk blue. There it is. Time to retire from watching paint dry to watching cat lay there.
Yep.
Oh shoot! I forgot our new intro line is in the grim darkness of the far, far future. There is only watching paint dry.
Yep.
I'll get it. Next time.
Next time, Gadget.
Next time, Gadget. My God, that's a show I haven't thought of in a long time. Oh, right, I wanted to get a little white in there. I guess I'll throw in gray, will be fine. All right, there we go. There's an engine. Oh, yeah? Like, did it work? Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. All right, so I think this one's all set. Pretty happy with it. And we'll go on back to this little friggity thing. Cargo hauler. And now we need like a reddish brown. I've never eaten a brown reddish before. Doombo brown. I think. Oh, Tuskor fur. That's better. I think. Ooh, what about... Oh, that's orange. What the hell is this? Squig orange. Might go for a second coat. That's kind of a neat color. What's this? Oh, that's not red. Too red. All right. Tuskor fur it is. Oh, walking target. You have no idea, my friend. I have this immediately next to me, along with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 colors below it. I've got these back here in like a line of 12 or something like that. And then I have my case, which has another probably 20. I have a lot. There's a lot. I think I have some on the table behind me, too. I mean, I have many times asked myself the same question. Still draining. Draining by your flame. What's that?
I'm just trying to get some detail work on this guy.
Oh, of course.
You can let Belcher.
Yeah, the good stuff. Come on, paint can. Cooperate. Ooh, the heck? That is not working. Oh, that should be better. Okay, yeah, it's working now. Sorry, I kind of dropped off the face of the planet there for a second. I got an update on the school situation. I needed to read it. Although why it's coming through at 11:26 at night, it's a little baffling, but you know, it's all right. It is what it is. Ooh, jumping Jehoshaphat. Oh my god, there's a phrase I haven't said in ever. Jeepers. Fine. I will just take you off the painting handle. Jerk. Alright. Is that coat done? And in my painting kit, I found another one that I was really happy with. Whoa, dear. Squig Orange. Seemed like a fun second dry brush coat to throw down here.
Okay. Numero 2.
Oh, I love that! What are you gonna do for an ink over the white? Like, do you just do Nuln Oil over that?
Let's see. Over the red, I've been doing the Carisburg Crimson.
Yep.
And in fact, I actually kind of hid most of that. I throw Nuln Oil over the silver.
Yep.
I actually how I've just been very careful around the white.
Oh, okay.
To just make sure not to spill over some.
Sure. I follow you. I follow you.
Although with this dude, I might just Nuln Oil him and not mess with the Carisburg.
Yeah, I can see it. All right. I'm really loving this. I think I need a little silver poking through, though. Iron Breaker. Let's break that iron. I find it so much easier to tell if a dry brush is actually dry or not by wiping it on your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, we had these this weird, like, janky rope swing in my buddy's backyard.
Uh-huh.
And, like, it was tied up, like, I don't know, 40, 50 feet in the air.
Okay.
And every time he yanked back on the thing, he would yell cargo hauler. He was a bit of an odd dude.
Okay.
I don't really know where I was going with that story. Other than the fact that I'm painting a cargo hauler. And I think it's done. Oh, wait. I was going to look at where are the engines on this thing. Oh, they're yellow. Okay, so I got to do... I lied. I am not done.
How dare you?
I'm the worst. The literal worst. But fortunately, what I'm about to do is very easy. I'm about to do... Averland Sunset. Another watching paint dry classic.
I love that yellow.
Me too. Bit of a goldenrod yellow, if we want to equivocate it to the Crayola box. I got the Crayola. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Zach, what are you doing? Engines of a ship aren't yellow. Just wait. I got a cool trick up my sleeve. And it is called Bloodletter. This is a glaze that I put over engine type parts. There it is. Another Citadel color, very liquidy, sort of orange glaze. But it dries really flat, which is really cool. And so I will apply it thusly. Like... meow. And that's how we do engines. And then we got the little interceptor to finish up, which actually won't take that much effort. Just a little light dry brush of white, and then we're pretty much done with it. I do want to glaze the windscreen though. I have an idea.
Dropping stuff again.
What?
I'm dropping stuff again.
Stop dropping things. You're better than that, man. You know, it's funny. These are these ships are the ones that are different than any other Firefly minis, and yet they're far and away the easiest to paint.
Yep.
So what I'm doing here with the dry brush over the windscreen is I'm just putting a little bit of white in the middle, because when I glaze that, it'll turn like a shiny blue. I'm really excited about it. Or at least that's my intention. But we all know how that often turns out.
Usually turns out pretty well.
Usually pretty well. On this show, yeah. Because we paint with intention. And that intention is to, not have to fix all our mistakes all the time. Alright, I need to do the blue on the engines, just like I did before. And that was Hoth blue. Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
Cap got stuck. And we all know how that turns out.
Yeah, with the entire pot of paint on your pants?
Yup. Which did come out in the wash, by the way. My wife is a genius and somehow managed to get it to come out. Glow action on the engines. That Thunderhawk blue. Final little bit of white. And then we'll do a glaze. That was a lot of paint. Way more than I intended. Considering I'm just doing like this. Just kind of poking at it. There we go. And we'll bust out that blue glaze, which is called Guilliman Blue. No idea who Guilliman is. I'm sure it has something to do with Warhammer 40,000, but I don't care about that. I mean, I do, but not enough to know who Guilliman is. Oh dear.
Stay open.
go. And then on the windscreen, little glaze. Oh, that is working exactly the way I wanted it to. Yes. Awesome. You know what? I'm gonna give something a try here, just because I can.
What you thinking?
Well, so I did the Guilliman blue glaze over the engines on the back of the little guy here. I want to try that on the bigger one too. Just a nice, no clumps, no lumps. So you know how, I mean, washes tend to like kind of clump up on themselves, and glazes kind of do the same thing, just because they're thin paints. But if I paint it really light, it should give that back engine just a little bit of a sheen. Let's see if we can pull it off. It's clumping over on the corner here. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. My 3 are done. That was a lot faster than I expected it to be. I'll go get another model in a second, but show these off real quick. So we got the Alliance Cruiser. We've got the Interceptor, which, boy, am I happy with that, how that screen came out. Cool. And we've got the SS Walden. Which I'm also very happy with. So, I guess I need to pop behind the curtain and find another model to paint. I will be back in a second. I found something very strange.
What'd you find?
I found the White Dwarf, but he's wearing Space Marine power armor.
Nice.
I don't know how much I'm actually gonna. I don't have Macragge Blue or anything like that, so I'll be able to do like most of this model, I guess. Some of it, I don't know. We'll get a good start. Let's see where we end up. Oops. Did I just... Hold on. No, okay. I thought I knocked my mic out of whack. I did not. I did not. Oh, painting handle. How did that go? I don't know how well this is going to work because the magnet that holds them down isn't the strongest. But... This particular model is magnetized because his other base, which is significantly bigger and gaudier, has all kinds of random shenanigans on it. It's got a birthday cake, and a bolter, and a goblin.
The Night models announced their like Black Friday sale.
Mm-hmm.
That started on like Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And part of it was like if you spend €50, you get a free crypto mini.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, I kind of want a crypto mini. I don't need to spend €50 on miniatures.
Right.
But then they were like, oh, by the way, in addition to like these sales, here are new models for this month's release, and it's a bunch of Two-Face stuff.
Oh, how much did they get you for?
I haven't bought anything yet, but it's like the Two-Face model. Like Casey keeps looking at it, and he kept saying like it looks like John Travolta as Two-Face. But it's like awesome scenic base, looks amazing.
I love that.
And honestly, he's by himself. So then you can get like the Two-Face gang.
Yeah.
It comes with Hush, Sugar and Spice, and a whole bunch of mobsters.
Oh, that's cool.
For 20 mobsters. I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks so great. These look so awesome, and I want them so much.
Yeah.
I should not buy more. And then for that was for their Batman Miniatures game.
Right.
But for the DC, they released like a Green Lantern set.
So spicy.
So it was like Hal Jordan's by himself, but then you can get a box set that has like Kilowog and Guy Gardner. And I was also super tempted with that. It's like the squirrel, whatever that squirrel's name. I always forget that character's name.
Bed RPD.
What?
He said you should flip a coin and see which one to pick up. Go directly to bed. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200, 200 euro, or no, 200, whatever the hell currency they use in Denmark. We started talking about that yesterday, and I can't remember what was actually answered. Kroner, that's right. I probably pronounced that wrong, but whatever.
Belcher for guns and swords.
What's that?
Red Belcher for guns and swords.
Absolutely.
This cape is getting in the way.
Oh, capes are the worst. Ah! Oh, RPD. Nice. Your walking target, RPD is our resident crazy person. He is one of my mods. He's from Denmark, and he stays up late to watch us play, or paint, or whatever we happen to be doing that particular night. And we love him for it. Captain Kirk didn't last long tonight.
Already gone?
Huh?
He's already gone?
I think he said one thing and then disappeared. I was very sad.
He usually has lots of good questions.
Yeah. Although Walking Target's been MVP tonight. In terms of question asking. Although I tell you, that Freedom 5 stream, boy was Andy on fire.
Yeah. Andy's great.
Andy's a wonderful person. We love him to absolute pieces. Oh. Magnet not holding very well while I paint. I assume that the light gray here is to A, 1, cover up the black primer, and 2, something of a base layer rather than being the gold color. Yes. So the white dwarf is, I mean, notably his hair is white. So this will get another layer of white, or of gray. I don't actually use white per se. I don't like the Citadel white paints.
He's not crazy like me.
Yeah, I'm not insane. I mean, I have them. They're here, but actually, let me show you the inside of my Ceramite white. This, brace yourself, Walking Target.
I need to see how bad this is.
It's literally a chunk, just one solid mass, and like you can't get. There's Broodies. You can't get Ceramite white that is not like that. Nobody knows why. But it just doesn't exist. So I use, when I want white, I use Celestra Gray, or there's an even lighter one that I'll sometimes use. But and even the white Scar, which is the white layer paint, similarly is just absolute, well, for lack of a better word, bollocks. So I use the Celestra Gray and Pallid Witch Flesh, or Ulthwan Gray to achieve my white tones. And it works for me. Oh, whoops. I think I figured out how to describe the Freedom 5 art of Parse. It's as if it's based on Adam's original character art of her rather than the revised card art. That's possible, RPD. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold him for this. Get him off camera. One thing I read in my cursory starting investigations anyway said that you generally don't want to paint with white because then what do you highlight with? Yep, that's entirely correct.
It depends. I'd say, like, right now I'm going over a wash with Nuln Oil over my white. Fairly light. But it gives it enough tone where I can still hit it with a highlight on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing the full wash of Nuln Oil versus doing like one of the, like some people do like the like tiny spot wash. And like will only like with a very thin brush go over the like recesses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up. Oh, it's our favorite, Broody. Mournfang!
Nice.
So you'll notice his backpack here is actually a keg. A wooden keg. And I've put him on a square base so I can put him in charge of my dwarfs.
Are the leaders supposed to be on square bases or something?
No, so I don't play Sigmar, I play Fantasy 8th edition, or 9th edition, or whatever it was. Wherever it was we left off. And sorry, RP, I just saw that comment. So all my stuff is rank and file, totally lines up. I also have... Just got another one. I think it's just another white dwarf. No, it's not. It's Jacob Bugman. Jacob Bugmanson. Another promotional model. I have a lot of different options for dwarf leaders. I have Gotrek Gurnison. He's the Slayer Lord. He's pretty dope. Slayer with a 1-up armor save.
That means nothing to me. I've never played Warhammer, so...
So when he's hit by an attack,
mm-hmm.
he only fails on a... he only fails to shake that blow off on a 1.
Okay, so I got the Beskar Duelist.
Yeah!
Okay. Good cape.
Man, it's been a while since I've done a model this small. Not like the skills go anywhere, though. Oh, jeez. RPD, can you handle that, please?
Bots.
Paul had the funniest time with bots this morning. He got follow bots. Where literally he was just being spammed by new follower alerts for, like, the entirety of his show.
Nice.
Thank you, RPD. But, like, there were literally only 4 people watching his show the whole time. And we're like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't line up. Alright. Lead belcher. Time to belch. Time to belch some lead. And there's probably going to be more of it than what I'm going to put on right now, but at least get this tankard done. And then there was that time that the follower... Yeah, that's true. That was super weird. And I was so flustered by it that I couldn't figure out how to turn it down. Of course, I blame Candace on that one. Because I believe it was a Candace raid that triggered that problem. Oh, big surprise. Adam's playing Hades. I said, big surprise. Adam's playing Hades.
Really?
Yep. He's getting toward the end of his stint in the art mines. I should probably check on his sanity at some point here. I've been doing periodic, like, monthly sanity checks with him. But he doesn't know when they're coming, because I... Oh, really? Nice walking target. I need, like, a dull... Is this it? Xandri Dust, yeah!
Xandri Dust is a pretty good solid choice.
Xandri Dust is going to become booze. Beer foam.
Nice.
Trevor tells me that he has several batches of brew a-brewing right now that are candidates for another project that we're working on for Gen Con next year.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. We were inspired by your root beer.
Nice.
We're also working with, you remember Gabe?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's helping us out with that too. Based on that information, you could probably figure out what we're doing. Let's maintain a little optimism here, Walking Target. And even if it's not, we're going to figure that out. But yes, we are all crossing our fingers for that. All right. Xandri dustifying complete. Time for a little Bugman's Glow. Oh dear.
So I skipped the dry brushing on this.
Okay.
Because I did not want to kind of mess up any of the whites and some of the other colors. You know how intricate the designs are. So
Sure.
I just went with layer and feathering, like the layers.
Nice. Oh, cool. Good move.
So the whites get to stay pretty bright and clean, and the reds still get highlighted.
Yeah. So for those wondering, dwarfs are kind of back to my roots for me. This is how I got my start painting. And kind of do it in my sleep at this point. I've painted so many hundreds of dwarfs at this point, it's not even funny. And Space Marine's also very, very much old hat. Although, I don't have the base coat that I need, I don't think. Oh, maybe I do. No, that's Thousand Suns. That's not Macragge Blue. Now, the reason that I don't have the base coat that I was looking for is when I painted Space Marines, Dark Angels was my jam. So I have a lot of greens, but no blues. So I'll have to pick that up before too long here. However, Retributor armor. Lots of gold bits on this guy. Actually, I wonder. Pop open the Citadel paint app here. Yeah, they do claim. Yeah, Macragge blue is what they suggest here. Actually, believe it or not, I have none of the 3 colors that I need for ultramarine armor.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. Boo. Boo hiss. I can do like a Crimson Fist, but not Ultramarines. So, the armor will just have to wait, but that's fine. I have Retributor armor for now. I think normally I'd probably use something like Balthazar Gold. I think my Balthazar Gold is the Boo Hiss Sneer Grumble. That's a very dwarf-like response, RPD. Ooh, my Balthazar Gold is actually fine. Retributor armor it is. All these like little runic accents and things.
Freehanding?
No, these are all sculpted in. There we go. On this side. Yeah, when this model arrived on the shelf, I'm like, oh my god, that's Dwarfen power armor. I must have one. And my boss just like reaches behind the counter. He's like, no, don't worry. I already got you one. You're fine. Every time there's been a dwarf promotional model since I was in like middle school, he's held it for me. Because I've always been one of the only people around the store who knows how to run dwarfs properly. Dwarfs, like, notoriously, they don't use magic. So, it's... The strategy is very, very odd when most of the other teams that you will face, like, center around using magic. For a while, like, there's a one model that you can get that allows the dwarfs a magic phase, but it's kind of crap. And it's really expensive, both to buy and to play. So at that point, it's all about mitigation. My favorite story of playing Warhammer Fantasy, my friend John Garrigan and I were the two big dwarf players around the store. And we would often we were always better when we could play doubles matches because we could bounce ideas off each other and whatever. And it was great. So one day we challenged my friend Megan to a 2-on-1. We said, you get to feel double the stuff, and you face both of us at the same time. And she was like, oh my god, yes, you're on. Let's just say we demolished her. Like, it wasn't even funny. Okay, it was a little funny. That was the night that Lone Wolf McQuaid was born. My one dwarf Longbeard. In other words, like veteran elder dwarf, whatever. Stood off against a unit of mounted high elves and just kind of glared at them until they ran away.
That reminds me of an amazing game of Batman I had at one point in time.
Go on.
I was running a Batman squad.
Yep.
And Batman, the Batman group were notoriously, especially like in first edition when this was happening, drastically lacked in henchmen.
Sure.
Because at that point in time they had Green Arrow as a faction, Law Enforcement, and Batman.
Okay.
Like they had separated into three, which in subsequent editions they've just kind of had Brave and the Bold is what they call like pretty much all heroes.
Sure.
And all like interchangeable.
Okay.
But there was a handful of like generic cops. Like some of them could be both Batman henchmen and law enforcement henchmen.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cops in particular looked exactly like Carl Winslow.
Oh God.
So much so, in fact, that there's actually like an alternate card that was like a tournament prize for a character card for Carl Winslow.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
We want to use that. Needless to say, he's like the second cheapest cop.
Mm-hmm.
Utter trash. He's a body there
Sure.
for you to use, essentially. Like, he's not stellar at all. But one session I'm playing, he turns a dark alley and comes face to face with Deathstroke.
Oh.
Who's one of the best.
Yeah.
Single miniatures in the entire game.
Yep.
He's insanely expensive, so he's like half of your army essentially.
Right.
Like cost wise and stuff. So Carl Winslow comes around the corner, and there's Deathstroke staring him down in the face. And Carl Winslow just takes it like a champ. My opponent was with Deathstroke just couldn't roll like on 2-ups to hit Carl Winslow.
Oh my God!
Kept rolling all of his 5-ups to hit Deathstroke, and eventually took him down.
That's awesome.
It was so ridiculous, and should not have happened, but it did, and it was glorious.
So Walking Target asks, Carl Winslow in particular, not Al Powell?
Yes, Carl Winslow. I mean, I can go get the character card for you if you want to see it.
I mean, yeah, if it's nearby.
Yeah, it's right on my bookshelf.
Nice.
Give me just a second.
Oh, I'm just curious. Target. Oh gosh! I thought the magnet would be strong enough to hold him to my microphone stand here. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool.
Okay. So here's the mini.
Oh my God! It is straight up Carl Winslow.
So yeah, that's like the painted thing, but like the Sergeant Winslow.
Oh my god. That's
Oh
amazing.
man, this version, like he's still a henchman. He's
Yeah.
got a little bit more, like he's a beefed up version as opposed to the generic version, which is just like policeman. That's
Number
like
6,
all
yeah.
he knows. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like I was like before like the special card came out, like we always just called him Carl Winslow.
Yeah.
I was actually using the super cheap version, and like he held off against Deathstroke.
That's amazing. I would expect nothing less of Carl Winslow.
No, it was glorious.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, numero dos with highlights and everything.
Yeah. Super rad.
I'm loving this color scheme.
Yeah, I do too. So I decided to use both different shades of gold after all, in different ways. The bands on the barrel on his back, I'm doing with the Balthazar gold. And like the generic like accents and stuff, I'm doing with just the regular, or the Retributor armor. Oh, you know what else I can do? You know what?
What?
I'm impatient, and I think I can do a blueberry perfectly fine without Macragge Blue. I'm going to use Cantor Blue. I think. I see no reason why I wouldn't be able to make it work. It's probably a little darker than I would normally like, but I think I'm okay with it. Oh my god, I'm realizing just how long it's been since I've done power armor.
It's been too long?
I wouldn't say too long. I'm realizing I could probably get away with a bigger brush here, but oh well. Whoa, mega eye twitch. That's strange.
Yeah, you mentioned using a smaller brush. Yeah, I'm using like my eye brush, like
oh, the little teeny tiny,
super tiny one to do these. Like since I was forgoing the dry brush in order to like make sure to just get the thinnest lines to start feathering from.
yeah. Oops. Oh, this is going better than I expected.
And the Beskar Duelist.
Excellent. And just like that, my base coating is almost done here. Just a couple little more drops here. And I think it'll be time to call it, because I am getting to the point where I'm starting to sound zonked.
Yeah.
Alright, let me just get the rest of his wrist.
Also, it has been a busy, busy week.
Oh, for real. I still got to figure out. It's been kind of a relief to see you both just handling the pieces directly. Lots of things. I mean, I use the holder quite a lot, but like, so this particular mini is magnetized, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, I don't really care about. Like, you start to develop a sense of where to hold it, so you don't mess up the paint. Alright, so I'll show you what this all looks like. Here, we'll do a rundown. After I put this brush away. Oh shoot, I did miss a bit. Quick. There we go. Yeah, like, I've always just held them directly. It does help to be able to see some of the details sometimes. So I do use the paint handle. But this is the dwarf that I'm working on. It's not done yet. Certainly, there's plenty more to do. So he'll dry. And then earlier in the stream, finished up the Firefly ships. 1, 2, there it is, and 3. There they are. Brody's got his 3 Mandalorians. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to be playing a game with them and touching them anyway, like, who cares, right? Enjoy your life. You do your thing. I handle my stuff directly. Broody handles his stuff directly. It's just a matter of personal preference at that point. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. This was absolutely a blast. Always is. Broody, so much fun. Always a pleasure hanging out with you, man. Yep. This is like the best. I will be back again on the channel Thursday night, I think, for Batman Arkham Origins. Probably finishing the game up, fingers are crossed. And then we will be off for Arkham. No Arkham this week. It's an off week. And Broody and I will be right back here, right back at it, hammering through this ridiculous backlog of miniatures that we have to paint. I think I might be starting Batman Gotham City Chronicles next week. Oh, God. Oh, God. Save me. Tomorrow, yes, Tales from the Archive. As of this moment, Tales from the Archive is on. Depending on how my school stuff shakes out, I may have to pull the plug on that again, but I'm really hoping I don't have to. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you real soon. Have a good one. Bye.
See ya.